What does PRN glorify that actually isn't that great in practice? NSFW. Having sex with your stepsister instead of helping her get unstuck from inside the washing machine. Finger banging in the worst possible way, i.e. long nails and pistoning like it's a dick. Nonchalantly going from hole to hole. Lesbians with terrifying fake nails. Sinking your meat into your GF4 wife while not only over at her parents for Sunday brunch, but at the same time are out in the backyard having a picnic and eyeing under cover of picnic tablecloth. I can't stand looking at guys eyeing crushing tits. Like they grab them and squeeze the hell out of them and it looks so painful. Titties are not like thigh or ass fat. It hurts like hell if you squeeze them too hard. Cable guys. Is no one going to mention the double-handed Indian burn hand jobs given all the time? If your hands are dripping with lube, that's cool. Otherwise it's like you're desperately trying to get the label off of a soda bottle. The crazy SX positions. SX on the beach, sand, or in a pool. Also those standing positions that are not very efficient. All those weird positions. I ain't got the leg nor core strength for all that. When you're fingering her and she moans like a motorbike. Not gonna lie. I was holding back my laughter. Me. And this. Is to go. Even further beyond. Having trouble picturing this. But next time my wife starts stroking me I'm gonna start going vroom. Vroom and see how she reacts. I suspect badly. But I gotta know. Losing your virginity. Gets a lot better after the 4th time. Dang. I only lost mine once. Yanking the head back by the hairy ally far while doing doggy. Is so bad for your neck. A lot of positions in PRN are great for camera but as a woman I can tell you some positions wouldn't feel like anything. An L with no lube. Never tried it but if I was to do so no way that S going in dry. That could cause legit injury. Tossing your straight pal an ice cold beer while reminding him how cool blowjobs are and that there aren't any girls around. Cum fountain splattering all over the place. Her face. Her hair. The couch. The carpet. That's usually the guy on some serious semen producing vitamins. Legit they are no joke and they do work because I take them. Skipping straight to sex. I mean don't get me wrong. Sometimes all you gotta do is breathe in my direction and I'm ready to go but most of the time I need foreplay. Lesson of the day: don't underestimate the foreplay, it could change everything. Also stop assuming that if it feels good for you it must feel good for your partner too. Make sure you're there okay with being folded up like a lawn chair before you attempt to do it. There are no hot MILFs looking for a hookup in my area. Incest. Yeah, it's overrated. Eyeing in front of the salad. Rotary and L. Like with old people. An L gape. Yeah, what the hell is up with that? In the 25 years I've had access to online PRN it's gotten more and more disgusting. Edit. Seems like my most valuable contribution to Reddit so far is not being fond of an L gaping lol. Scissoring. It is really hot. But it's also an awful way to try to get off unless the two vulvas involved are set up in a very specific way and nobody has large labia. Titty slapping. Vulva slapping. Edit. Apparently many women like it. With the penis or the hand. Surprise gropings. It does not end well. Ugh. I had a gay friend who loved tacoing us girls and just going up and shoving his fingers up into our crotch as a joke. Like how guys punch each other in the balls. It really hurt. The one time it happened to me and I turned around and just kicked him in his balls. He stopped after that. Edit. I pointed out that my friend was gay because he used that to justify his actions and people excused him for being abusive because of it. I don't condone his actions. I reported him and they called it playing around like friends do. He got expelled later on due to sexually assaulting a football player in the locker room and sent to an alternative school. Stepping on her face while doing her from behind. Seems a tad disrespectful. Huge dicks. For a very small number of people it works great. For most people it's just a lot of lube. Going slow. Discomfort. Going slow. Hitting a bad angle. Changing it up. Going slow. And not being able to hit the clit with the body. Looks good on camera I guess. And easier to get a lot of those PRN angles. Hair pulling and slapping being a part of nearly every mainstream PRN vid you see. Don't get me wrong, I love having my head slammed into the wall on occasion. But if we're just hooking up for the first time and I haven't explicitly said so, what on earth makes you think it's okay to just slap me in the face or rip my hair out? Sex with strangers without condoms. Gangbangs. They are probably extremely awkward and smell like butt. Yeah. I saw a post where someone in the industry said that the sets smell like ass, body odor, and nasty vag. Loud. Bombastic. Over the top sex. Some people are loud. Some people like it rough. And some people are really aggressive, but not nearly as many as PRN portrays. Not every guy has a 10-inch horse cock and not every woman is a wanton dying to consume aforementioned cock. Most sex is tentative, clumsy, and vulnerable. If it doesn't feel like your sex life is a constant PRNO, that's probably a good thing. But too many people, especially younger folks, don't know that. I know it's cheap to blame a larger social problem on PRN, but it sure ain't helping. The doggy style jackhammer. I'm not talking about roughing. I'm talking about a death metal drum machine pace. I have not met a woman who got anything out of that. My ex-GF's favorite sex position was doggy. The rougher it was, the more she enjoyed it. I'm more for gentle S-ing, but she absolutely melted when death metal drum machine pace was involved. I don't understand either. Getting laid in unrealistic scenarios. Thanks for fixing my plumbing issues. How can I ever repay you? I'm sure there was a Vine like this. Pizza guy walking in Ossa, hey did someone order a pizza? Apostrophe. Scantily clad woman Ossa, I did. But I don't have any money. Ossathan, why the did you order a pizza? Getting stuck in the washing machine. I've been here for 3 days waiting for my stepbrother. Surprised it hasn't been said yet. Roseblooding. Roseblooding is essentially an anal prolapse. More and more increasingly in PRN films. It's becoming way too popular. Roseblooding is seen as something SI. And something that every woman who engages in an LSX should strive to do. It's not SI. It's not healthy. It requires surgery to fix. And no one should ever try to achieve this. Or encourage someone else to. It straight traumatizes me, I don't understand it all. How is it SI? I'm like someone call 911 for her and a therapist for me. What are you doing, step bro? Stealing lemons. Someone walking in on you, masturbating. RP. Being a plumber. It's damn hard work. Getting your back scratched to pieces during sex. It's hot in the moment, if you are into that kind of thing. But the shower afterwards, oh boy. And depending how badly your back got tore up, it always stings for days. Public sex. Knew a guy who had sex behind a building and ended up getting bit by a poisonous spider and had the gnarliest, pus-filled wound on the back of his leg. Shower sex. It's just not all that fun. Water strips away any natural lubricant you might produce. One of you is always going to end up wet and cold, unless you've got an enormous shower. Anyway. And the slick floor means that falling is an ever-present possibility. I'm 31. Man. I just want to in a bed. A nice soft bed with comfortable sheets. The dream. That women are super tight and the loud moaning. It's just not licks that at all. When I was 16 I was oh I wanna get laid, it must be awesome, and when I finally did, don't get me wrong, it's awesome but not what 16-year-old me thought. PRN is unrealistic, I'ma be honest. Oh, and another thing is shaving your pubic hair. Not everyone is gonna have a bald thing, man, and I can tell you that I know a few guys who like the natural look. Any activity with alien tentacles. You're just asking for trouble. Being tight half isn't always a good thing. I really don't like the complete detachment and lack of respect and intimacy. Maybe it's just me. But even if it's a one night stand or a meaningless fling, intimacy makes sex so much better. That position where the guy is standing up carrying the girl with her arms around his neck and her legs hanging over the crook of his elbow. I'm a pretty strong dude. I lift weights. But I don't care what size girl you are. It just doesn't work very well. From experience, the guy's brain will register his biceps burning more than any sensation he gets from his crotch. He's gotta make sure to maintain balance so as not to injure either person. And to top it all off, the increased exhaustion will affect performance. Just picture trying to maintain a curl of 45 pounds dumbbells on each arm for more than a few minutes. Skipping to the last 30 seconds of a video. Most of lesbian PRN IVG isn't a piece of concrete. Please don't jackhammer it with those speared fingers of yours. Also, please don't aggressively rub my clit like you're trying to sand it off. Overall, sex in PRN is much more eventful in all the wrong ways. Not that regular sex is boring, but it's 100% focused on the insertion of something into someone else. Then moving around a lot and moving into very weird positions. Real sex, there is a lot more foreplay, or there absolutely should be. And you're probably not going to switch positions too much. Designer labia. It's common for PRN actresses to undergo cosmetic surgery on their labia to look Barbie doll perfect, which ends up making a not insignificant number of women feel insecure about themselves, since theirs obviously don't look that way. Nobody talks about this, but almost every girl I've ever tried to go down on stopped me because they didn't like their bodies. Can't tell you all how much I hate that. Labia come in all different shapes, sizes. Hell, most aren't even symmetrical, but they're all perfect. The worst looking vulvas are still nicer than the prettiest scrotums, and that is the hill I will die on. Source notes. The American College of Gynecologists and Obstetricians, ACOG, study in 2019 that interviewed 124 women seeking labiaplasty and 50 women who were not control group. Although fewer than half of either group claimed that they had never seen PRN. Other studies strongly suggest that many subjects in such surveys are ashamed to admit to viewing pornography. Overall, 58% of the former group claim that pornography was an influential factor in their desire for surgery. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it shouldn't be glorified. Anal is amazing, says the gay bottom. But it is really misrepresented. Every anal PRN I've seen, the man or woman is just magically clean while not expecting an L. No. That isn't how it works. Ever. It takes a good long cleaning out process. Not to mention the stretching and loosening of the muscles. An L is not just a sudden thing. People, stop presenting that way. Please. For the sakes of all our asses. Being B. Sadly, it is not all threesomes. I don't really get cumshots. That is just for the camera. Yeah, it's freaky and fun to give a facial, but I'd rather come inside than outside. Fisting. The thing with fisting is you need a lot of prep and a white creamy based lubricant. Plus you need someone skilled that knows how to first properly. Start off small and work your way up. It takes time to open up your asshole, but it is easier than opening up emotionally. The fact that women moan like crazy when the guy barely touches them. At all. Like I barely mean during sex. Not that it's not good. I had a guy try to argue with me on here once about a lesbian gif not being real enough. The two women were very clearly into it, but they weren't screaming dramatically and making goofy, exaggerated faces. The guy said I didn't know what real women were and told me to go find one. I'm a lesbian. Cheating on your significant other. All of it. PRN is the biggest misrepresentation of sex there is. Incest. Anal to vaginal. You can get a solid infection from that. Literally. Lesbians giving head to a strap-on. The one and only reason it's done in PRN is for the male viewers because that's something that turns them on. But in reality, we get nothing out of it. It's not arousing and it feels awkward to give it and to take it. So naturally it's just not a thing. It's almost as if dicks aren't supposed to come here into the equation. Boob skin pulled so tight over implants they make my chest hurt. Many word positions. Some of them just happen because the camera needs a good angle to show the penetration. But in real life it is uncomfortable for both. What's with all the saliva? Arpe. Semicolon. I presume. The lack of pubic hair. Don't get me wrong, I like getting a wax and all to smooth as a dolphin, but goddamn a lot of actresses have laser hair removal. You won't see a single strand of hair on them aside from their heads. Hour-long sex sessions. So I was browsing some NSFW subs today, our pretty old girls I think it was. I burst out laughing when this girl crossed her eyes and stuck out her tongue. Repeatedly. I've seen this a few times and think it's absolutely hilarious that someone is turned on by this, or b, someone convinced them that people are turned on by this. It's supposed to be literally dead silly, like they lost all cognitive functions from how good the sex is. It's from anime. It's supposed to signify an orgasm. According to the internet. Tittying. At least for the female. Does absolute nothing. Yet she moans like she's about to climax. Which is not even close. PRN. A beautiful girl gets lost in a rough neighborhood. Bunch of guys find her. They whip out their dicks. She starts sucking on them. Midway through she says, I've never done this before. My boyfriend will be mad. Well yeah, this is such a ed up scenario. Arpe. Cheating. Assault. Etc. The inside of a woman's asshole. And rim jobs. Daddy kinks. I feel like I can't get away from this kind of content no matter what I do. Sometimes it shows up halfway through a video without any hint of it in the title and I immediately turn it off. I really wish it wasn't so popular. Threesomes or more. Dudes can barely satisfy one gal and you expect me to go round after round with several women? Or men? Sex on the beach. It's really not that great because sand gets everywhere and trust me, it is not fun. Alright Anakin. We get it. I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for this, but 69ing. It is honestly just such an awkward position. Had a guy try to be the top once and it was just incredibly awkward. 5 seconds of his balls on my face and I noped out of that situation. I can't concentrate on what feels good for me and what feels good for you all at once. Lol, why the would you let the guy be on top? IAIA. Facials. Smacking a vagina before doing something to it. Like. Thanks. Go to knock before entering. That's just manners. Spit as lube. Just go by lube. Almost all of it. The exception is PRN that has any sort of redeeming qualities at all, other than being a jizz accelerant. Sex without protection. Still surprises me that so many people are willing to hook up without using protection. Especially random hookups. The kid part. Think of STDs. Some of them is game over for you. Arpe. Arpe. In BDSM. I'd have to say is making welts and marks. I'm a spanking fetishist and I can tell you that nothing turns me off faster than seeing absolute bruising. Welts that end up bleeding and just other horrible looking ways to mark someone's ass. In my personal opinion. For spanking PRN. It should be about just simply making someone's ass red and hot to the touch. Anything beyond that. turns a spanking into straight up abuse. I feel like 69ing is the leaning tower of Pisa of SX moves. It's not entirely without worth, but it definitely isn't worth the hype. Like many things. Depends on the partner. My wife loves it. My girlfriend. No. The seriousness. SX can be serious business when you're in the mood for that, but more often it's a fun, playful experience. The butt slapping. The kissing. The verbal sparing you're having during foreplay. I also love to break the tension after we've both finally climaxed and will often make a joke or reference or just yell something silly. The first time I yelled yeet as I came, we both ended up laughing so hard we had tears in our eyes. Being chained to the ceiling. I wanna sweeing from the chandelier. Human interaction. I'm your stepmom. None of those tutorial videos have worked for me yet. Squirting. Having been with squirters, it's not really that hot. Plus now my goddamn sheets, mattress pad, and first layer of my mattress are soaking wet. A girl convulsing from an organism? Maybe the hottest thing in the world. A girl covering my room with a fine mist of squirt? Goddamn, she better bring paper towels and cleaning products. Lesbians having long acrylics. Anytime I see the girl topping with half-inch long nails, I clench in pain. Girl with big booty somehow gets stuck under the bed or in washing machine and asks for help from a random guy or whatever. First 10 seconds he tries to help. Then SX. We, audience, have to pretend that she can't get out from that. Threesomes. They're awkward, and depending on the gender situation sometimes one person is just kinda there, maybe being played with till it gets too heated and the other two kinda forget about you. Maybe that's just me though. The whole hanging upside down off the bed blowjob thing. Finger banging. Please stop. It's like you're trying to shred a cabbage from the inside. It's not fun unless you like vaginal tears that hurt every time you move for days afterward. No kissing or caressing. PRN is scripted and angled just for show. Hardly any intimacy. Face eyeing. The gagging. The spit. The tears. Some people might be into that and that's great, but just no. Fecal play. It's just all around a Thai thing to do. Going in raw that hurts, use lube. SX with people who are asleep unconscious is RP. Unless you have a very specific agreement with a partner you trust ahead of time. Shower SX. Scissoring. Ah yes, let's just bump these two bones against each other. First one to quit loses. For your information, I'm sure it works for some people, but it is greatly exaggerated in PRN. Same goes for the lesbian fingering. If that girl has in 9-inch nails, she's gonna turn that cookie into ground beef. A girl will blow a guy for 7 minutes before begging to get head. A guy will go down on a girl for 30 seconds before telling the girl she's getting head. Heterosexuality. It's just gonna lead to kids. Ass to mouth. Just no. Also, switching between holes. Once it goes in your ass you need to clean up before sticking it anywhere else unless you want to get an infection. I'm surprised by how often I see this in PRN. Spitting. Seriously, spitting. Drooling. Or hocking a lodgy makes everything super not hot. Really quickly. Not eating yo girl out or giving her any foreplay whatsoever. WTF is that? When women suck the penis after having it up the ass. I can't believe this hasn't been said. SX with children. There is a huge amount of PRN where there is a naughty Catholic schoolgirl or a Girl Scout. Yes, the actresses are over 18 years old, but when people think Girl Scouts they think of someone who's 12 years old. The same thing with naughty Catholic schoolgirls. They don't wear those skirts at 18. They are between 10 and 17 years old usually. Not only that, there has been an explosion in recent years of age play. Not just on fringe dark websites. On mainstream PRN sites. PRN stars with braces, which is typically associated with kids 12-16ish. Sex scenes in rooms decorated like a child's bedroom. They are pink with kids sheets with stuffed animals etc for decorations. There is an increasing amount of thumb sucking in these themed videos, which is associated with children 2-5 years old. There is also an increasing number of videos where the actress will wear a diaper and act like she's under 10 years old. Slapping tits and vagina. Pointless. No fun. Can even hurt and is very off-putting.